Hello everybody, this is Make It Better, and today we're doing a nightly what if. Basically, I clock out very late, it's dark out, and I don't think I'll be able to do another what if. So, I decided to do it here. So it'll be the same thing like mornings, just for me going home. It, of course, will be longer because I am not in a rush. And also, I'm fully awake. So, let's get into it. After Zuko was checking on the rubble, if anything was okay, if anybody had gotten hurt or anybody, the teacher has given him a final score that's way over 100. Now, after that happened, a buzzer's going off, saying that shit, that's a fire. Oof. Now back to it. Where was I? Sorry. Great. Now over on the other side of the Zuko, well, after that, he gets off the robot and going over to the entrance that he went through for his exit. As he was going, Zero yelled out for him and say, "Way up, dude, let's hang out for a bit. I'll call Kiri." Zuko said, yeah. Hey, what happened to that girl? Is she alright? And Zero said, oh, her, the cute one. And Zuko said, yeah. Is she alright? And Zero said, yeah, she's fine. Recovery girl actually helped her out. And Zero, well, tried to tease on Zuko about the girl. Seems very heroic of you to save her. As Zero tried to make him flustered and stuff. Zuko's not gonna fall for this one because it has happened before. But he's gonna keep cool and collected. A very, well, can't even say that word anymore. I lost my thought. Good thing people are using lights. Now I can tell where they're coming. Could have gone. Now, yeah. Going on the highway. Hold on. Yeah, that's a good speed. Cruise. Back to it. Where was I? Sorry. What was it? So, all this back and forth until they meet up with Kiri. Kaminari. They hang out and actually have the rest of the day playing video games in the arcade, eating some burgers, and basically talking about what they did in the very exam. And Zuko, basically answered their questions on their, some questions that they did not get or couldn't understood. Zuko answered it, and it was like those kind and how he did it. And sadly, they turned their day off from everything to a study group. And since they are one of the dumbest, they had to bring up their grades before they can have a chance to go into Class 1A, which Zero and Kaminari appreciates greatly. After the day ends, Zuko goes home. Itami is, I believe I said that last time, but oh well. I'm starting to lose everything. Brain cells as well. Going for memes. Where was I? But Itami asked him how was the test on the exam, And Zuko said it was pretty easy. Not really caring, not trying to answer as much. He's very tired. Very tired, and well, he just answers some basics and went back to his room and go to sleep. The next day becomes the same routine as he was doing. He was more practicing on his original quirk. He got a handle of One for All, but some reason it's acting up differently than usual. Maybe it's because in his thought, maybe because that he took One for All, something is going on with his quirk. It feels strange. My hands feel so sweaty though, as he whip it just a bit to get some sweat off. But as he does, droplets of black liquid came out of his hands. Zuko was doing it a few times until he sees a stream of droplets on his floor of black, liquid. He poked at it, and it looks so weird. And for the rest of 2 weeks, I'm giving it 2 weeks, not 1 week. 2 weeks, and he's learning more about his own quirk, and it's changing. Because One for All is actually mixing in with it, with all the other quirks that have been added on. It's now adding, it can't make it more powerful. It was already as powerful as it can be. But it's starting to change the very quirk to a new type. Now moving on. When Zuko got his letter, he actually opens up right in front of Itami. And this came down, went around, landed, and then a video of All Might appeared. Itami at this time already knew about how Zuko was tricked because All Might did it in front of Itami. Itami was against it, but learning that he got into Class 1A, he's very proud of him. Now moving on, after a slight smile from Zuko and a huge smile from Itami, they celebrate. Itami tried his best to make dinner for Zuko. And Zuko's favorite meal is basically a cheese sandwich. Nothing special. So Itami tried to make it like more fancy or add more ingredients to it, but Zuko did not like it. He just pulled out whatever ingredients that Itami put, giving a frown on Itami's face. But Zuko, as he's eating his grilled cheese sandwich, he gave a smile. It's a very genuine. Okay. I am not on speed limit. I am over, and the car right beside me is trying to go faster than me. So yeah, accidental race, I guess. It happens all the time though. Back to the story. Why is it shaking? Nope, it's not my truck. Where was I? Right. After Zuko has his meal and enjoyed it, they went over. Well, the day has ended. My God, right. What was I gonna do? God damn it. Now, Zuko was walking over to UA. As he was going there, he met up with Kaminari and Sero. After a little bit of talking, Zuko wait up. Well, he got a little hungry after that and decided to get some more food. Sero and Kaminari actually wanted to be there earlier to meet with all the other people. So Zuko waved bye to them and sees them there. Zuko, as he was, well, trying to get some more food, it's kind of like a morning meal in between the breakfast and lunch. I think it was called brunch. Yeah, those fancy stuff words. But Zuko, well, as he was getting out of the restaurant with his food and was trying to run back, he accidentally bumped into a girl. She was, well, still running away, as it looked so weird, but he didn't notice something off. He did take off his gloves for a moment just to get the money because it was still hard for him to open up his wallet. So when he was putting it back on, a droplet of black ooze fell onto this girl's jacket. She didn't touch it. Moving on to another scene. This girl went back home, saw her parents, and her parents smacked her a few times and told her to get back to her room. She's now allowed to be outside where people can see her. As she took off her jacket and threw it somewhere else because it was one of the new ones that her grandmother got her. The parents picked it up and was about to throw it away, but they saw something falling from her jacket. The jacket seemed clean. They didn't really care for it as well they were going to throw it away, but the woman decided to pick it up and show it to her husband. As they both look at it, and the husband also touched the ooze, the black orbs, black liquid, it seeped into their skin. And all they see is the picture on the screen. And it's just screaming in pain and agony over and over for hours but it's been only a few seconds. As they finally awaken, they got a little scared. They don't know what has happened, but they're starting to rethink on what they're doing. They don't know why or how, but they need to change for the better. So they decide to throw the jacket on the couch instead of the trash can. This is a nightly what if it's actually longer because I have no time limit. Where was I? Moving on to the next scene. I guess you guys gonna figure out who this girl is and why is she so important. I'm not sure if I'm going to use her or not. It's best just to put in some mystery, don't you think? Back onto Zuko, he was running over to UA. After he got into the school, he decided to make an excuse on that he couldn't find the area. But really, he knew where it was exactly because All Might has told him that he's going to be a teacher there. So he got more of another excuse on what will happen next. Charging is not working anymore. As he entered through the door, well, actually, he was walking towards the door, and it gets bigger and bigger to a point where It reached all the way to the top of the ceiling. In this moment, when Zuko was about to push on the door, when he touched it, he gets a flashback. He's in a very dark room that's flickering lights, very bright white light. And the person in the background is telling him to choose the door. Go to the right or go to the left. Just choose, in a very angry tone, as if he'd been doing everything wrong. Zuko chose the left door. As he pushed open it, not even able to see on the other side, until he got electrocuted from his hand to his arm to his whole body, and he pushed back. He's crying and telling the woman to let him go through. And a flashback back over to this time. Zuko shake it off and remind himself he's in a better place as he pushed through. As he opens the door, oh, damn it. Sadly, I have friends and they are very talkative. Hold on. No! What's going on? Don't get what's going on. Oh, wait. That's what it was. I couldn't see it. I was figuring out how it disappeared, but I got it back. Anyway, as he goes into the room, he looks around and sees some people, some very famous faces, but he decides not to say anything. He looks over and tries to look for Zero. He doesn't see him. He looks and tries to find Kaminari, and he doesn't see him either. He was walking in a little closer in the classroom. He was about to choose a seat. As Zuko sees two students arguing about something. A kid with his feet on the table, just barking at the another kid that was yelling at him during the seminary, the announcements, and to tell him to get his feet off the table. That's very rude, and the upperclassmen would have been disappointed on you, and all of that shit. Zuko said, "Oh, great. More annoyance." As he gets tapped from behind. He looks over as Kaminari was right behind her, which was a little strange, and said, "Oh, hello. Are you okay?" And she said, "Oh, yes, I wanted to say thank you for saving me from the zero pointer. That was a lifesaver. I didn't get your name." As she tried to step a little closer to him, and Zuko said, "Oh, what was my name? Sorry, Kaminari finally coming in through the conversation said, "Hey, his name is Zuko Itami, and one of my best friends." As he leaned his elbows on Zuko's shoulder, and Zuko said, "Yeah, I'm Zuko Itami. Sorry, I'm just a little tired right now." As Uraka, well, she say her name, Uraka Ochako Uraka. Zuko appreciates it, and they're talking a little bit. Now Kaminari is trying to, flirt with Uraka, but all of his attempts goes right over her head. None of it is going through. And Zuko, well, doesn't notice this either. But when Zero finally comes into class, because he needed to use the restroom, he found the group. After he was talking with this group, with Mina, Kirishima, he went over and talked with Zuko and Kaminari, and this girl named Oraka. He sees the interaction that's going on, kind of chuckles, and lay his hands on Kaminari and say, "Sorry, dude. I think she's found someone else." With Kaminari looks over to Zero and says, "Really? Again? I can never get a break." Zero says, "Come on, meet up with some other guys, some other friends." As he took him out of this very conversation, Zuko and Araka were still talking to each other like nothing happened. Oh, damn it. Now, as she was about to ask him for his number, a door slammed open, and the teacher was crawling through in a yellow sleeping bag. And he turned around, kind of freaking her out as she took 2 steps back, kind of bumping into Zuko. Zuko actually walked forward, passing her, said, "Hello, sir. I believe you are our teacher." As he said, "Yes, I'm your teacher. Now, get into your seats. We have a lot to do." As they are confused, but they get to their seats. Ida is saying that you are not our teacher, that's an imposter, and more stuff. And Aizawa finally getting out of his bag, showing him that he's a very tall man, giving him death eyes, and telling him to sit down, as he does. Now, he looks throughout his whole classroom, seeing that they're not really paying attention, and he doesn't feel like taking them to the hall for announcements. So he decides to do this. I don't feel like going there, so as he pull out a uniform, "This is your gym uniform, put these on, meet me outside." That's all, as he walks out. Some of them are confused, but Zuko takes this very serious and was one of the first ones to get up and go to the changing room, as many others follow. Moving over, in the changing room, Zuko is changing. He's the first one done, as others were coming in. As he was about to leave, a few guys are, well, talking about that teacher is very rude. Well, mainly the one tall kid. And Zuko, as they were passing by him, as he was about to leave, said, "You really need to shut your mouth and watch what's going on before you talk," as he walks off. Zero and Kaminari knows how he is with new people. Very rude. And this kid, Ida, said, "That was rude. He doesn't even know me, but he will just say that out of the blue. What does he think he is?" As Zero and Kaminari defend him, saying, dude, you just talked back to a teacher, and you had no idea that he was a teacher or not. So, do what he says." And Zuko said, and they said, and Zuko is so right. Man, I wish we knew more. As they changed and went back, the tension in the room now is a little strange and all, but because of that, a little purple did not have a chance to go through because everybody was leaving, and he didn't have time to look because everybody was moving quickly in the changing room. And I'm going to end it at this point, mostly because I need to use some more equipment. All right then. Bye.